Hello friends, welcome to today's video. As you can tell from the title, this is another what I ate in a day and how I exercised in a day on the Weight Watchers My WW Blue plan. This is going to be a special themed video, as you can tell from the title. This is a ode to my love for my air fryer. So I bought this air fryer on a whim. I kind of thought to myself, it doesn't do anything more than an oven does, but everybody seems to love them so much, and there was one that was on sale. It was a small one. It was called Lil Crispy, I believe. It was like, I think maybe a little less than $100 Canadian. I've had it for, I want to say like 6 weeks or 2 months now, and oh my goodness, it is like the only appliance other than my coffee maker that I leave out on my counter all the time. I am enjoying using this so much. I use it almost every day, if not every day, multiple times a day. And I would say, especially as somebody who is living by myself, it is perfect. So just before we get into the video, I'll make this part really quick, but if you are somebody who is also living on your own and you're sort of thinking about this, I just have to say, it's so convenient for so many reasons. It heats up so quickly. It basically preheats in under a minute. And it's just sort of the perfect portion size amount. Mine is easy to clean. It's non-stick on the interior, and it just saves the power and heat of heating up the entire oven. I also have this thing for some reason in my place where I have a super sensitive smoke alarm. So if I heat my oven up over 400, my fire alarm usually goes off, which is not a super pleasant way to cook. And there are just so many things that are so easy to just throw into the air fryer and they come out lovely. Especially, I have to say, in terms of vegetables. Green beans are wonderful, just all kinds of things. Anyway, you guys know all the shtick. You probably have air fryers yourselves. I think a lot of people have them. But I have to say, I am so happy that I made the investment. And if anything ever happened to the one that I have, I will be marching myself back out and getting another one. So let's get into my day. As I mentioned, I am following the My WW Blue plan. I will talk about the points a little bit in the video clips in here, but also at the very end of the video, I do put up a summary of my entire day of eating, and then also from my Apple Watch, a summary of my day of exercise. So for some reason, I didn't put a clip in here of my morning coffee. I'll throw one in from a previous video if I can find it, but my coffee is pretty boring. I have like just a plain old-fashioned brew, filter brewer coffee thing. It's not like pods. Anyway, I just make myself some good dark coffee. I put in some sweetener for 0 points, and then I do enjoy using 2% milk. Sometimes I'll use some plant-based milks, but that's what I've been using for the last couple of weeks. And I end up using 2 points worth is what I track for my milk in my coffee. Usually 2 big cups of coffee. Yeah, that's what I do. So let's get into my breakfast. Hey guys, so here we have my breakfast, and it's kind of an egg and potato thing I put together. So on top I have some McCain's Extra Crispy Super Fries that I did in the air fryer. These take about 14 minutes, and what I do is I measure out exactly 5 points worth of these by putting it on a scale and then zeroing the scale out, and then I take the fries out until I get to the amount. I think it's around 90 grams is 5 points, and that is on top just so it stays nice and crisp. Underneath I have 2 large eggs that I've scrambled up. Into that I put, when it's close to the end of cooking, a spoonful of plain non-fat Greek yogurt. That adds a little bit of creaminess to the eggs, as well as a little bit of protein for no extra points. And then you'll also maybe see that there are some veggies in there. Those are some roasted red, yellow, and orange pepper and red onion. I did roast those in the air fryer as well. I basically just cut everything up and toss it with a little bit of spray oil and some salt and pepper. And I use my air fryer on the roast setting. It's about 380, I believe, and I think these took
about 12 to 14 minutes to roast. And I do stir it 2 or 3 times during that. And then I just kind of keep those in a container so I can add some roasted veggies to whatever I'm having, like my eggs, or if I'm doing some rice, whatever it might be, I can put some roasted peppers and onions in with it. So altogether, the only points in this breakfast are coming from the super fries. And I did this instead of breakfast potatoes because I like the crispy and spiciness of them. And you can tell I just kind of cut them into little pieces. They're kind of more like home fries. So it is a 5-point breakfast.
That breakfast was delicious. I really like using the crispy fries and then chopping them up instead of using the home fries. I find the home fries that I had before, which are just little diced potatoes, tend to dry out a little bit. But the super fries, I specifically get the spicy one, and they just crisp up so nicely. I don't even spray any spray oil in there, but there's sort of enough oil in the fries themselves that they get super crispy and seem like they were deep fried. It is just absolutely perfect. So throughout this day, if we skip over to talking about exercise, I did a lot of exercise and it was all low impact. So I did 45 minutes of swimming in my pool. There is a pool in my condo building here that right now you need to book, so you have it to yourself, which is lovely. So you get a 45-minute slot, and I did that. And otherwise, I just took some walks. And oftentimes too, if I'm just watching something fun on YouTube in the evening, I will sort of just even walk and pace around while I'm doing that, just to get some extra movement in. So nothing like super hardcore, nothing like super aerobic, just getting my low impact exercise in. And I did end up tracking on my Apple Watch that I had burned 1,177 exercise calories, which is supposed to be above and beyond just sort of your basal metabolic rate. I got 96 minutes of exercise, again, just 45 minutes of swimming and then some walking. And I did get over 14,000 steps and walked 9.5 kilometers. And now let's get into my super simple low point lunch.
So here is my very simple 2-point lunch. I have here what I'm going to call buffalo chicken nuggets. I did these in the air fryer, and I put in just chunks of boneless, skinless chicken breast. So that's 0 points, with just a little touch of oil spray and some salt and pepper. I cooked those until they were pretty much finished. And then I took them out of the air fryer, and you'll see in the footage that we're watching that I'm terrible at trying to do things with one hand. Totally lost one of those on the ground and 3-second ruled it. But I tossed them with a little bit of hot sauce. Now for me, the hot sauce I had on hand was Cholula for 0 points. But, you know, if you used a Frank's or something like that, it would be a little bit more buffalo-y. I did one more little spray of oil and then made sure they were well coated before putting them back into the air fryer for about 4 more minutes so that they got nice and coated. I'm having that with some baby carrots for 0 points. And then I have here, kind of blends in with the dish, but that is a ranch dressing. And the ranch dressing that I have is this Farm Boy Creamy Ranch. It's a Canadian brand. Well, Farm Boy is a Canadian brand. This is 2 points for 3 tablespoons, and it's actually really nice. It's a very fresh tasting ranch, very light, not super heavy and gloopy. So good amount of protein. I have some veggies, and I am going to go and enjoy this.
It really is one of my favorite things to do just little chunks of chicken in the air fryer. They come out so nice, and what I've been doing lately is going and buying just a large pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and when I get it home, I'll prep it by chopping it into those little bite-sized pieces and putting it in some Tupperware and keeping it in the fridge so I can just take it out and cook it and add it to any meal that I'm having. And it's just such a lovely, high-protein, easy, filling addition to any meal. So this last meal that I'm going to show, my dinner for the evening, was kind of a send-off or trying to do with not all the right ingredients, the salmon rice dish that you may have seen get popular on TikTok. So on TikTok, they basically flake up some salmon, add some rice. For some reason that I don't 100% understand, they put an ice cube in and then microwave the whole thing. I think the idea is that it's leftover salmon and leftover rice, and they're warming it up but adding the ice cube to keep everything moist, because rice can sometimes get a little dry when you reheat it. But then basically they go over it with a whole bunch of Kewpie mayo and then sriracha. So I did a version of this, and the part that I did in the air fryer was the salmon. So what I have done with salmon, I'm not a huge fish eater, but I got some frozen salmon fillets, and this is the only time that I will sort of wrap something in my air fryer. Usually I don't want to use foil right under it because I want the air to circulate, but I've done salmon before and it gets so messy that I actually ended up doing it in my air fryer, but on the roast setting. So I put 2 fillets in some tin foil, and then I put on a little bit of salt and pepper and lemon juice, just super simple because I was going to be adding a fair bit of flavor later on. I did roast that for the entire 18 minutes, I think it was, which is a lot. Because I'm not a big fish eater, I know the proper way to eat salmon is so it's still nice and pink and moist in the middle. Mine was both being cooked from frozen, and I like my salmon a little bit more well done, so that is what worked for me. And after I cooked it, I flaked it up, and now we'll get into the video of the meal. And I do apologize that for this one, the volume is a little off, but hopefully you can still see what I'm doing.
Into this bowl, I flaked up the salmon. Then I added some of this just chopped up baby spinach. The rest of it I'm going to put in with the rice, and it will wilt down. This should wilt down as well. I put into here 1 tablespoon of some garlic mayo. I don't have Kewpie mayo, so I put in a little bit of rice wine vinegar. So the difference with Kewpie mayo from regular mayo is that it's made with apple cider vinegar, which I don't have, so I thought I'd use that for a little bit of extra tang. And then I put in some sriracha, and I'll put more of that into the bowl itself, but I just wanted to mix this up separately into the salmon part of the dinner. Here is our final dinner, and sorry the lighting isn't the greatest, but in here I have 5 points of basmati rice. Into that I have mixed a half cup of green peas for 0 points, as well as some chopped up spinach. I also have some soy sauce and some sriracha on there. And then I have a good amount of salmon, also for 0 points, with 3 points worth of that mayonnaise in there, as well as a little seasoned rice wine vinegar. I don't believe it's any points in that. I didn't use very much. And also some chopped up spinach in there and some sriracha as well. So altogether, this is an 8-point dinner with a ton of protein and a little bit of veggies.
I actually really love that meal, especially as somebody who's not much of a fish eater. There were a lot of other flavors that came through that really added to it. However, I did check afterwards, and seasoned rice wine vinegar is 2 points for a tablespoon. And that's because it does have like some sugar added to it. So I should have counted 2 more points than I did for this. Perhaps I'll put that into the screen at the end. I'll go back and modify, but it's something I'm not too worried about. I looked and I think it's like 25 calories for a tablespoon of seasoned rice wine vinegar. Let me just double check. Sorry, it is 2 points, but it is 43 calories. And I follow generally the Weight Watchers stuff to a T, but I'm not going to be too worried about an extra 43 calories in my meal. I finished out my evening with a pure protein bar. You hear people talk all the time on here about Built bars. Now, I'm not going to say that pure protein bars are the same. They definitely don't have the same texture. And while I think Built bars can be between 3 and 5 points, the pure protein bars that I've tried have been 5 or 6 points. There's a peppermint bark one that I like, and there's like a chocolate peanut butter one that I like, and a salted caramel chocolate one that I like. I think that's the 6-point one. Especially if what I do is I put them in the microwave for 15 seconds and the chocolate on the outside gets a little melty and the bar gets a little soft. It is a protein bar. However, the bonus for me, especially living here in Canada, I can order these on Amazon. They do get to me the next day, and they are significantly cheaper than the pure protein bars, which I have to order, or sorry, the Built bars, which I have to order directly from Built. Like significantly cheaper. They are just under $9 Canadian for 6 of them. So I did have that as a snack at the end of the night. So originally I thought that all of that brought me to a grand total of 22 points the day. I guess it's 24 with the seasoned rice wine vinegar. But the point of this is that it was a super easy day to make meals. I used the air fryer. It's so simple to use, and I just loved how everything turned out. It was a high protein day. I felt super satiated and didn't feel hungry at all, even though I was also getting a significant amount of exercise. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below if there are air fryer recipes that I should really try, because I want to branch out a little bit more with it. I'm generally just doing a lot of like single items, not really recipes with it. So let me know any of your favorite sites to get air fryer recipes from. Leave all that in the comments down below. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe for Weight Watchers content, exercise content, some beauty content, just sort of general lifestyle stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and stay tuned for the points and the exercise at the end. Bye!